Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and in this video I want to talk about Riot Games. And hey, if you're not already well aware, Riot Games is making a fighting game, and what kind of impact will that have on the greater FGC? So it just isn't the fighting games. Well, Riot is expanding big time. They have their new collectible card game coming out soon, Legends of Runeterra. They have the new shooter coming out, so they're expanding big time. But as is pertinent to this channel, the fighting game is where it's at, and it's a pretty big deal. So before anything else, hey, it's League of Legends branded. It's not just Riot making out whole new fighting games. This is not Rising Thunder 2, this is specifically with the League of Legends character, and that carries a lot of weight because League of Legends is an incredibly worldwide popular brand, right? I remember playing League forever ago and saying, man, I wish I could play some of these guys in a fighting game, and hey, here we are, and that actually might happen. Now, just because it's based off a popular game, this is a licensed property game, it doesn't necessarily guarantee it's going to make waves right off the bat, regardless of its popularity, right? Because we had the Power Rangers fighting game come out, and while I think that is a cool looking game, I haven't got to try it myself, sadly, it didn't make the biggest waves, but every now and then you get a licensed property, turn into a fighting game, and you'll wind up with something like this. So Dragon Ball FighterZ has been nothing less than a complete success, mostly, sold millions of copies, been welcomed with open arms by the FGC, and most importantly, especially as far as League of Legends IP is concerned, it brought in so much new blood to the FGC. There are so many people who never ever bothered with fighting games before Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I feel the very same thing can happen with the League of Legends fighting game. The League of Legends install base is massive. That's an understatement, right? It is massive, and you have tens of millions of players now. You have tens of millions of players who played before and are lapsed, but they might come back for a fighting game, that kind of stuff. It's a massive pool of people that you can draw from for a fighting game. Now, as for the game itself, we don't know too much about the gameplay. We got the little snips and pieces we saw from the 10th anniversary special. What we do know is the game is seemingly headed up by Tom Cannon, who is old school FGC, as old school FGC gets. Very famous for being involved in the creation of GGPO, Rollback Netcode, founding member of this small little indie tournament you might have heard of called EVO. Hey, yeah, that's the guy. So, needless to say, the talent is there to guide the game along. Another thing the League of Legends fighting game will bring to the FGC, besides the actual game itself, which obviously is the most important thing, but the concept of esports. So esports and fighting games is a bit shaky, to say the least. While there is a lot of presence in fighting games in esports, it's definitely not like a Counter-Strike or a League of Legends, or other such games. Now, to be fair, fighting games as a whole completely predates esports. We were here first. If esports go away, hey, we'll still be here, right? But for now, esports is definitely how it is, and Riot is an esports juggernaut. There's no other way to put it. They are simply, King Kong in the esports market, and if they are bringing their fighting game, and all fighting games want their esports presence, right? We are likely to see something completely as of yet unseen. Like, take your big majors, take your NRS Pro Tour competitions, take your Capcom Cups, and I'm sure Riot's going to blow them all out of the water, and fairly easily, right? The amount of money, production effort, and all that kind of stuff that Riot has put into esports is absurd. It's crazy. An influx of money like we have never seen before is the kind of stuff that Riot can bring to the table. And once again, this has nothing to do with the gameplay or anything, but esports is just the way of the future. It's just the way the boat is moving. So we gotta like it or lump it, right? But yeah, so Riot can bring in that money like we've never seen before. And for some people, I'm sure their eyeballs are lighting up with those dollar signs, right? And some people might be groaning, but for better or for worse, the esports angle is going to be brought in like a hammer. Now, on that note, with esports comes esports contracts, right? And I've seen some people worried that Riot might try to do like a weird lock-up, no-compete thing. You only play the League Fighter, and if you play the League Fighter, you can't play MK, you can't play Dragon Ball, can't play the Street Fighter, that kind of stuff. And it seems to have been tied up with a weird little scare from 2012. I myself, I don't know too much about that, to be brutally honest. I did some Googling myself, and it doesn't seem to be anything recent, but as it currently stands, it would basically be suicide for the game to come in and say you can only play this game and no other games if you want to play on a pro level. So we'll see, I guess, but I'm not too worried about that just yet. But yeah, it is really unfortunate. As Riot has stated, they are going radio dark. We're not going to be hearing any more about this game for a good little while yet. And hey, I love fighting games. I want to know more, right? But I guess we just have to wait. But effectively, right now, Riot is posed to kind of come in and just eat a massive chunk of the FGC pie, right? A big chunk of that market share. This is gonna be a big deal. No matter what happens, no matter where things go, this is going to be a very big deal for the fighting game community, and I just look forward to see what's going to happen, I guess. So until then, until we know more, and then we can start arguing why it's very important that my favorite characters make it into the game over your favorite characters, because my favorite characters are good, and your favorite characters are bad and wrong, I guess that's really all we got to go on at the moment. Once again, I'm very excited for this. I've always wanted this game to exist, and now here we are on the precipice of it, and we just gotta wait for more info. But I suppose that is it for this video, so please in the comments below let me know what you think this might mean for the FGC, the fighting game community. You think this is nothing but positive news? You think this is going to be doom and gloom? Hey, let me know, right? But that is it for this video, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video found you well. Go out and play the League of Legends fighting game whenever it comes out. I don't know. Maybe 2021, maybe 2022, I don't know. Just play it whenever it comes out.